Welcome everybody back to another video. Today I need to go with something very simple because, I'll be honest, I'm having kind of like an issue with thinking of content to make for Call of Duty. I have a lot of like ideas, just nothing I could do today at least. I need to do a little bit more planning. So right now I essentially just need to do a quick short video that I've been wanting to do, and then later on to like tonight or tomorrow I'll brainstorm a bunch more content just so I can get on the train of recording and uploading again and stay consistent. Since we are entering kind of the end of the life cycle for Call of Duty Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2 is literally 100 days away as of the time of recording this. I wanted to go over for the last time the best controller settings and or PC settings for Call of Duty Vanguard. Obviously the PC settings are like the graphic settings that only contribute to PC, and then controller for either if you're on PlayStation or Xbox, or if you use a controller with your PC. If you do enjoy this video, however, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to be notified every time I upload another Call of Duty video. I have quite a few ideas that I'm working on. It's just going to take a little bit. As you can see, I also changed my camera angle, and I'm playing without my light on. It's changing the whole look of the camera, and I'm just working on quality and everything. So that's going to be changing over time. I'm going to be getting some more RGB stuff for the background. I changed the camera angle a little bit so you can kind of see like a canvas poster right there. That's Waiting in the Summer. It's a 3D canvas poster that I had printed out for that anime. Love it. Highly recommend if you like the romance stuff. So getting back on track, I want to go over the PC. Actually, we'll do the controller settings first, since that's what majority of people are going to be clicking for because it's in the title. I do want it to be known, I don't play on like some 2020 cracked sensitivity going around, because you're gonna, yes, it might look cool, but you're gonna miss a lot of shots with it. I come from more of a competitive standpoint. I play a lot of ranked. I would play more pubs, but Vanguard videos don't get a lot of views. If you want me to play more pubs and do some fun stuff in Vanguard though, let me know and I will get on that. But from what I know, it doesn't do well on this channel, so I just been staying away from it. So the perfect sensitivity in my eyes, and there are some stuff you can change. I would personally stick to 6.6 sensitivity for both horizontal and vertical. And then for your ADS sensitivity, you want 1.0. Now, anything higher than this, you're just going to be whiffing shots constantly in my eyes. I like having 1.0 because you can get a lot of mobility into it and still keep your shot on target. If you are still overshooting for whatever reason, you can lower it. I would usually lower it to either 0.90 or 0.95 if I was overshooting on the day, because like sometimes, you know how you're just not feeling yourself, you need a little bit of help. It is what it is. Now I will be skipping some settings because some of these don't matter like at all. Now this one, button layout preset, is all like personal preference. I play on an Xbox controller. I play tactical flipped. So essentially what that means is I'm playing tactical, which means I am crouching by pushing the right stick in, because usually that would, you know, be your knife button, and then B would normally be your crouch. Those two are swapped for me. So I would be crouching and laying down by pressing and holding in the right stick and pressing B to knife. Now the flipped option essentially swaps your triggers and your bumpers, so that instead of shooting and aiming with my triggers and throwing grenades and shit with my bumpers, they're completely swapped. So I will now be holding down like left bumper to aim down sight and then right bumper to shoot, and vice versa. The triggers will be for throwing nades and everything. I do that because it's faster. It gives me like faster reaction time, if that makes sense. It is a lot easier. I mean, you have this thing called right and left trigger minimum like dead zones, which you can lower to where like your triggers are very sensitive, but I just still don't prefer that. I like the clickiness of the bumpers, and it's just, I was always able to react faster. And for the games that might not have the trigger dead zones, then using bumpers is pretty easy. And I think that's even the default on PlayStation controllers. Now, if you don't want to play flipped, that's completely fine. But I do suggest to anyone that is either playing competitive or wants to get better to use tactical. Because, I mean, I also play claw, where I hold the controller like this, and my hand kind of looks gross because of the angle I'm at. But essentially, I hold it like this, and I don't need to use tactical because I'm able to just press B with my pointer finger right here to crouch or drop shot or slide and do whatever. But I just got used to playing tactical. So I kind of have that double benefit, but tactical will allow you to slide while like shooting and aiming, and just, you'll be able to multitask a lot better if you have tactical on. I'm noticing I'm talking a lot, so I'm gonna kind of speed through the rest of these controller settings. Aim response curve type dynamic. I don't know why it's better than standard, but it is. If you snipe, however, linear might be the one for you. I can't give a reason why. I just know that those are the best options. Controller vibration you want off, mainly because I feel like that will move your fingers and might throw off your aim a little bit. That's what it always did to me, so I always just turn that off. ADS sensitivity transition timing I have on instant, so that it instantly, so like if you know how you have 6.6 sensitivity normally and then your 1.0 ADS sensitivity, if you have like the 1.0 is like lower or whatever, as soon as you ADS, it'll instantly switch to that sensitivity, so you get that instant sensitivity change. You could have it on gradual, but it's a lot better with having instant. And then the dead zones, you essentially want to have these dead zones, the left and right stick minimum input, down as low as you can without having stick drift. For me, I found my comfy minimum at 20 on both, but yours might be able to be lower. It just kind of depends on your controller, so you might want to get into a private game and mess with that. Get it as low as you can without your character moving or just glancing off without you even touching the controller. Now moving on to the gameplay side, target aim assist. This one's kind of interesting. I think default is the best one out of all of these, and that's usually what I use, but sometimes if I'm missing my shots, I might switch it to Black Ops, because Black Ops kind of feels a little bit more snappy to me, if that makes sense. Sometimes I just swap between the two. You don't want to touch focusing or precision, however. Just stick to either default or Black Ops. Just figure out which one's best for you, but I feel like default is the better one overall. ADS aim assist you want on, obviously. You can copy all these. Automatic airborne mantle, you want partial. The reason why I have this is because there used to be an issue where when you would slide cancel and press A to stand back up, you would end up jumping instantly, and switching this to partial would fix that. I don't know if that's still the case, but I would still have it here anyways. It doesn't hurt. Automatic sprint, if you hate spamming your left stick and if you're not playing competitive, then put on automatic tactical sprint. That might help a lot. So all you have to do is just move your left stick forward and you'll start tactical sprinting whenever you can. I have mine off though because I do play competitive, and you know, the people that use that in competitive are kind of chodes. All this stuff is default, and then slide behavior you want tap. That'll be on hold, like at default. You want to switch that to tap so that instead of having to actually hold in your right stick for a certain amount of seconds for your character to slide, you can just tap it and it'll instantly slide for you, and that'll make slide canceling a lot easier. Everything else here looks good. I've tapped to reload. Yeah, everything else I just kept the same. Tank aiming behavior. I've never used a tank in this game, so that doesn't matter to me. Now moving on to the graphic settings. Mine are a little janked up because I was having a high latency and packet burst issue, but that I ended up fixing. But I don't know if these are actually what I would usually use. I use full screen borderless because as a content creator, I multitask and tab out a lot. If you're a casual and you don't do content creation or anything, full screen will give you a lot more FPS. Obviously 1920 by 1080p on my main monitor. My refresh rate is 144 for some reason and not 280, so I'm going to do that and swap. Just put your refresh rate to the highest it can go. VSync, I don't know why I have that on. What the hell? Turn VSync off. Don't have that on ever. I can't believe I was playing ranked last night with that. That's gross. Essentially, VSync just like limits your frame rate to your monitor's refresh rate, so that if you have like a 60Hz monitor, you're going to be locked at 60 FPS. And the only issue is that like it prevents screen tearing, which not many people have an issue with, but it will cause a lot of input lag, which is what I don't like. Your frame rate limit, I have custom. I have it maxed or set up to my monitor's refresh rate, which is 280. But I know a lot of people like have you go like double your monitor's refresh rate. So like if you have a 60Hz monitor, you would do like 120 FPS, for example. I don't know why people tell you to do that, but that is something I heard, so that might be something you want to look into. Menu frame rate, I have it at 60, but for normal games I would put it at 50, so it's not stressing your computer out a lot. And then minimize game frame rate, I have that at 30. Everything else seems nice. HDR keep off. Everything else is normal. Focus mode off. Make sure your display adapter is set up to the proper GPU. If you have multiple GPUs, put it to probably your best one, maybe. I don't know. On demand texture streaming, this being on will cause a lot of packet burst issues. If you have a lot of packet burst issues, turn this off. It should fix it. Sometimes it fixes it on console, sometimes it doesn't, but on PC, I know that is a huge thing because your game's trying to download like textures while you're playing, which is no bueno. On the quality, I'm just going to go through here quick. These are all just optimized settings. Some high, like good for visibility, but a lot of them are set to low so that you have, you know, high frame rate. Essentially just pause and copy all of them. I'm not going to go through and tell you because I don't want this video to be so damn long because it's already pretty long. I will say though, if you want your game to look pretty cool, you can turn Fidelity Cast on. I have my strength at 80, but I never have it on because it can hinder FPS a little bit, but it'll make your game nice and sharpened, and it'll look cool for like content creation purposes. Anti-aliasing, a lot of people have SMAA T2X, but I always like the Filmic SMAA to make sure that edges are a lot more smooth. Depth of field off, and then VRAM target usage. Some people put it to 90, but I keep mine at 85. Moving on to the gameplay. Color customization, something to note here for a competitive advantage, the enemy color is usually set to this like reddish orange, like in between type of thing. That's the default. I switch it to pure red, so it's a lot easier to see. Just a small little thing. My field of view I have at 110. If you're just playing pubs, you can crank it up to 120, but for like competitive, I would say around 100 to 110. Some people like doing 105. That's what I used to do, but I cranked it up just a little bit more. And then make sure ADS field of view is unaffected, so that your gun isn't completely zoomed into your like 80 FOV when you ADS. Camera movement, the least it can go, because you don't want your damn screen just shaking constantly while you're trying to play the game. Motion blur, both of them off, gross. Some content creators have weapon motion blur on because it kind of looks cool in clips, but it's annoying and it completely ruins your visibility. Even if it's just on the weapon, it's so annoying, and I personally hate it, and I hate people that use it. NVIDIA reflex low latency, I heard that it's a lot better to have this just on rather than on plus boost. But you can see the options on the right and what like the paragraphs that I'll tell you, that the on plus boost will kind of like it'll increase the power that your GPU has to run. So I should probably switch that to normal on. But yeah, I would have that definitely on or on plus boost. And that is pretty much it. That is all the best settings in my eyes. It's all opinion based. And I'm not a professional by any means, but that is the best settings in Call of Duty Vanguard for the end of the year. This will be the last video I do on it until Modern Warfare 2 comes out, and I do a video on the best settings on that so that you can optimize your game. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to be notified every time I upload another video like this one. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.